Okay, welcome back to the House of Petals. I am Lee, if you don't know me. I'm gonna say that again. Welcome back to the House of Petals. I am Lee, if you don't know me. And this is a lovely, warm, enthusiastic welcome to my water signs, okay? If this is your first time here, stay with me for a little bit, okay? I might have something for you. Let me put these cards down, okay, so I can stop fidgeting. If this is your first time here, stay with me. I may have something for you. If it is not your first time, thank you. I appreciate your love and support always, okay? It is time to do the energetic check-in for the water signs finally, okay? And water signs, I gotta give y'all the backstory, okay? If y'all hear anything, it is the tuning fork frequencies to keep our frequency clear. But real quick, I gotta give y'all the backstory, water signs, why I am saying that, because we were able to do the fire signs and the earth signs like 2 weeks ago, right? They got a September message, and I did a water sign message the same week, but it was like a lot going on in the video. When I tried to edit it, it like got chopped up. It was a lot going on, okay? And so I tried to do another one, and then my phone was like no storage, and I used my other phone. It was technical difficulties, and so I'm sharing this with you for a reason, okay? So if you catch this, okay, it's for you, so catch it, okay? Also, wherever you are, I hope that you're having a divine day, okay? Divine day, divine rising, divine evening. I hope that you're having a peaceful day. I hope that the things that happen for you today are aligned for the greatest measure, okay? That things are aligned for your highest reality. Thank you. I had to share that moment of peace, of love, of healing with you. But back to what I was saying. With that being said, I just surrendered, y'all, and I was like, okay, maybe it's not time for the water signs, you know, for me to channel that message. But more or less what I got was also, it's just like, it's funny because I think one of the messages for one of the other signs was surrendering to divine flow, just being in divine flow. But divine flow also includes divine faith, I just heard, divine devotion, okay? And maybe because I'm a Virgo and we are in this Pisces Virgo, I'm a Virgo sun, okay? In this Pisces Virgo eclipse, which we're gonna talk about if I can stop. I'm trying to give y'all a little story, okay? I know it's gonna mean something to somebody, but maybe because I'm releasing perfectionism and learning how to embrace presence. So let me just wrap it up there, okay? Spirit said, releasing perfectionism, okay? Releasing needing to practice, releasing needing to perform. Okay, we're going to say that again. Water signs, we are releasing the need to practice. We are releasing the need to perform. We are releasing the need to be perfect. And instead, we are embracing presence. 333 when I said that, okay? We are embracing divine presence, angelic presence, prophetic presence, which is us. That is what Spirit has been reminding me in these last few weeks, that we are the divinity, we are the divine timing, we are the prophetic timing, we are the prophetic manifestation. Okay, water signs, I'm not going to get ahead of myself, but I knew that you all were going through such a I'm hearing the word embellishment. I don't know, but I don't know, that's not what I feel like I'm trying to say, but maybe that'll make sense to someone. But I feel like I knew you all were going through just a deep transitioning time, but more or less, again, a deep time of flow. And I feel like you all were really allowing yourselves to shed and take your time, okay? And if you have not been, then that is definitely something Spirit is wanting to remind you of. So that's the intro. Let's tap in. We are going to do a tarot check-in. We're gonna use Oracle and Tarot, but we're gonna check in, okay, for my Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. This will be your energetic check-in. We have a new moon, black moon in Virgo, which also is aligning with the eclipse, okay? So keep that in mind. This message is timeless though, whenever you see it, okay? It may be before or after the eclipse, but keep that in mind, that the energy is high for transmuting. It is high for transitioning, but specifically for you water signs, it feels like it is high for embodying presence. That's what I was trying to say. I said embellishment, but more or less embodiment, okay? Embodiment, embodying the presence of who you are, embodying the presence of the I am, okay? Make sure that you all are setting your intentions, okay, during this time. We got a card popping out. They said let's get right into it, okay? Make sure you are setting your intentions at this time. Setting your goals, okay? Making way for new things. Okay, water signs, let's get right into it because the cards are popping out. So I actually am using a relatively new deck that I just got, Oracle of the Pluto. I really love this deck, y'all. As you can see, it is a undiscovered self / shadow work deck. So I did not use this deck with the last elements either. So I definitely feel, again, this deep renewal, this deep reprogramming. I just heard rewashing, even brainwashing, okay? The water signs could be brainwashing themselves, and I know that may sound a little off, but brainwashing in a good way, like reprogramming yourself, reconditioning yourself, reteaching, unlearning, relearning, right? Again, water signs, I know I may sound like I'm all over the place, but that is exactly how, when I like surrendered to your energy, that's how it felt. Not all over the place, but again, really being in flow. Like I remember telling one of my friends a few weeks ago, I felt so in tune that it was like I was just doing things before I knew, you know, like simple things though, like turning on the kettle, maybe, you know, well before I even knew I wanted to make a certain tea, or just it may even be those slight things, okay, water signs, those slight nudges. My hands are itching if you are one of those people, okay? Abundance, prosperity, ashe. Okay, blessings. I claim that. But water signs, it is that, you know, you may have had slight intuitive nudges or very clear intuitive moments and conversations and nudges and signs, okay? So be open to that. Continue to be open to divine flow. Continue to surrender. Be open to surrender. And prophecy is a big word that is like floating around in the energy with your message. Prophecy and prophetic, okay? But the word that popped out of the deck for your overall energy, water signs, is the bear. And what is so, y'all, I love this deck, okay? I ain't gonna talk too much about the deck, but they present the animals with sign language. First of all, beautiful art. But what is so interesting, it's a lot going on in this card to me, because it's like there's light shining, the headlights are shining on this bear, which is then projecting his shadow onto this tree. And the first kind of message that I'm getting, what I'm hearing with that, is everything that you have been through, water signs, everything that you have gone through, everything that you have grown through, was to shine light on you. It was to show you how big you really are, show you how magnanimous you really are. But it's so many messages that's coming through, because though what I'm also getting, like I said, I feel like you all have been doing a lot of work. And again, when we talk about eclipses, although eclipses come up every 4 to 6 months, this eclipse, okay, because it has that Pisces energy, could feel very transformational for you all, in the sense to where it's like light has been shined on shadows, or shunned, right? Whatever the proper way to say it. Light has been shined on shadows that you have been hiding from for a very long time, or shadows that you weren't necessarily aware of, like character traits about yourself, certain habits about yourself that you finally have been able to, like, you know, have an epiphany, or have like this light bulb moment. And what's even more beautiful, y'all see, it's coming out of a skull. The hands where she's creating the picture, the image, is coming out of a skull with flowers. It doesn't, what do we say? Rebirth, rewashing, reprogramming, reconditioning, okay? This deep transformation. But what's significant to me, and I hope that this makes sense, is how the skull still has teeth. this skull still has teeth. So what that's telling me is you're still this deep transformation. Again, this really was about like your shadows. But even with it being the bear, right? The bear can represent raw, this powerful energy, right? This very primal energy. Again, I feel like you all have went through this space where you have went to those places within yourself, and whether it was shame or guilt or whatever certain things you had to work through, you did that. Now to like transmute that energy to present yourself in a new way, to see yourself in a new way. But also on the other side, it's like you went to that energy to embody it, right? Some of you needed to go and embody this new energy, go and forgive certain things, go and like take your power back from certain things. Regardless, it was to help the water signs now embody a whole new image and be able to portray and integrate the shadow. That is a big thing for you all. And if you haven't been feeling that, then certainly this new moon eclipse we have, you'll be reckoning. I just heard reckoning. Exactly. There was a reckoning, or will be a reckoning within. But with the teeth still being attached, the spirit is saying, but this is still like, this was a rebirth, a transition, a death and rebirth that it didn't change your identity. It was spirit is saying this is about your core identity. This heightened your core identity. You're still attached to your identity. So that's also, that might be specific only for a couple of water signs here, that if you have been feeling like you have been lost or detached from your identity, spirit is saying that is not so. You are still attached to your identity. You are still attached to your truth. You are still attached to your path. Okay, you are still attached to divinity, even as we go through different cycles throughout life. Okay, keep that in mind. Okay, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. All right, we're gonna go ahead and break this bear energy down a little bit more. You know, I just saw fear when I looked at bear, right? If you change the B for an F. So yes, fear is a part of, you know, shadow work. Fear is a part of death and rebirth. Okay, I feel like there could even have been some ego deaths. All right, I just heard the word twin flame. So some of you could have met or will soon be meeting. I don't really get too much into the twin flame thing, but you know, whatever, you know, you believe in, I feel like there's a powerful energy regardless, that I'll be honest, whether it's it could be karmic relationships or situations, but I feel like there was ego deaths, or I'm also getting like, this is interesting, ego births. Ooh, okay, I'm gonna sit on that concept, water signs. I need y'all to do the same. Ego births. Okay, I just flipped the Nine of Pentacles up, right? Sounds like an ego birth, right? Flipping yourself up into stability, flipping yourself up into confidence. Again, create that could be this birth of a new way of using your ego. Okay, when you transmute fear, right, because fear and ego go hand in hand, but our ego does serve us when we need it to as well, right? It protects us, but it also helps us motivate ourselves and inspire and be inspired, right? So very interesting work that you all are doing with the concepts of fear and ego, water signs. Powerful work, but you're doing it, I'm gonna be honest, you're doing it on a deep transformational level. Okay, it's not just like you're just working through it. You are doing it in a way that will come to benefit you. I just called 1333 again. 333 is very powerful for you all. Ascended master energy here, angelic assistance here. But like I was saying, again, you're doing this transformation that will benefit you, I hear, for ages, okay, for decades. So yeah, you all have broke free of a lot of karmic, toxic, whether that's behaviors, relationships. Okay, congratulations. All right, let's get into it. We are using the Herbal Tarot deck. Great Spirit, give me one card. We are starting with the Scorpios. What is it that the Scorpios need to know? What has been discovered? What are they discovering or recovering about themselves at this time? How are they crossing this energy at this time? One card, please. Thank you. You got the King of Wands, Scorpio. King of Wands. This feels like it's all about your independence, okay? But I'm also hearing the word interdependence. And with the King of Wands is related to the fire energy though, right? Which could also be seen as your spiritual energy, your ambition. And with the King of Wands, with this independence and interdependence, I do feel like you're being ushered into a season where there may be more isolation, but isolation does happen when there's elevation, correct? I'm hearing isolation happens when it's time for meditation. Isolation happens when it's time for graduation, okay? Isolation happens when it's time for liberation, okay? Isolation happens when it's time for new information. So Spirit is needing you, Scorpio, in this next season. I feel what you will be discovering about yourself is how powerful you are, how abundant, but in the sense of like, if you can stay focused, okay, the King of Wands is very focused. His energy is focused. His devotion is focused. His discipline is focused. That's how he got here. And I'm feeling like you all are moving into this type of energy, and you'll be able to see that, like, with you really being focused and intentional and disciplined, you can create a lot. And I'll be honest, Scorpio, Spirit is saying you don't need as many people around you as you think you do. That's the other reason why they are highlighting independence and interdependence, okay, with this King of Wands. And cinnamon, this is he is represented, right? The masculine is represented by the cinnamon in this deck. So also, okay, if you do any type of magic, any type of rituals, again, cinnamon is used for abundance, for prosperity, for clearing. So that's also standing out to me. Yeah, it's like it's time. I heard spice up your life, but in a sense, Scorpio, where it's like it's time to put fire under your own ass, okay? It's like you are, it's like the King of Wands is coming into your life as well, okay? So there may be, you may have recently met someone or like moved into a new position, or you know, there could be literally a new person coming into your life, or just you reconnected with someone where they're pushing motivative energy into your life, or they inspire you, or they're putting fire under your ass, so to say, right? Or again, this is just the energy that you are moving into, okay, Scorpio? You all definitely are moving into your birthday season soon, right? We're at the end of September. So that could also be why there is this, well, it'll be Libra and then Scorpio, right? But you know, when we are in that birthday portal, it usually starts a few weeks in advance. And so this definitely feels like an upgrade of energy. Blue, right? His robe is blue. So throat chakra energy here. And I have a lot of blue crystals with us today. Of course, water, right? But that stands out as well, Scorpio, that you also need to, like, the thing about Scorpio is you guys observe a lot, you feel a lot, but you don't say as much as you should. And when you do, you like say it and then you draw back. And what I'm really getting with this cinnamon, like hot, spicy, on point, on fire, constant, like it's even kind of giving like a what's the word, like just heavy, like flow, circulation is the energy I can feel. And that feels like that's going to require defense from you. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not saying be like defensive, but it's gonna require like sharp energy. Again, this discipline, this defense, this sharpness, is gonna really require that from you. But specifically speaking up for yourself and in regards to your relationships, I do feel like you could have been pouring way too much recently, okay? And when I say pour, I'm definitely talking about your solar plexus energy, okay? Your creative energy, your essence, your energy, right? Whether that's it just seems like in relationships and conversations that you're not getting that same energy poured back to you, okay? And this isn't just like one time or on the surface. This seems to be deeply layered to the point to where you're having to make a transition in your life so that you can stop like self-sabotaging and delaying yourself, okay, Scorpio? All right, so I definitely feel like the last quarter of this year for you, you're gonna be locking in with yourself in like a whole new way, like really proving things to yourself, okay? It's also funny that I don't see his feet or his shoes. So I just heard, you know, you haven't walked a mile in my shoes, or if you could walk a mile in my shoes. So it's also like, Scorpio, you all have been through things, you know, have been through things that maybe people around you can't relate to, or you feel like they don't. And Spirit is saying it's time to use this. It's time to use your story, transmute your story. It's time to use your journey, okay? And make a new walk out of it, a new path, a new life out of it. Beautiful. That's beautiful for all water signs. Okay, give me one card for the Cancer. The Cancers. Okay, the crabby babies. What are they focusing on? What is being, thank you, undiscovered? What has been undiscovered is what I heard. Temperance. Patience. But with me saying what has been undiscovered, this is a new level of peace for you, Cancer. This is a new level of love for you. This is a new level of softness for you. But it's going to take you some time to adjust, okay? And it's a couple reasons I'm saying that. One, we know temperance requires time, requires patience, right? And sometimes we think that means when we want something, but sometimes and this goes a little bit what I was saying earlier, what Spirit also has been teaching me in this season, if I may share, that sometimes accepting that it just takes us time. It just takes us time to want to feel something, to like something, to be something, to get in the right position for something, for the idea to be inspired enough for us to have the energy, right? And I feel like that's kind of part of the message here. But why I said it's going to take you some time to adjust, Cancer, is because you know the Temperance card. She barely putting her foot in. She's barely stepping in, right? She's taking her time to get to the cooling of the water, to get to the healing of the water. She's taking her time to get the fullness of the water. But also the leaves are falling, or they're not falling, but the way that they're pointing down here, the image that I got was like, when someone is there like, he loves me not, he loves me not, right? So some Cancers could be in that energy, right? In the energy of love and relationships, and trying to, and Spirit is, okay, so real quick with that coming through, Cancers, Spirit is trying to teach you, like I said, a new patience in love, a new temperance in love, a new concept in new love, a new peace. But this isn't just like romantic love with another person. This is with yourself, right? She's here by herself. This is with yourself first and then others. But like I was saying, with her barely stepping in and the leaves kind of being like picked away, this is this feels like a moment, a season of divine timing. Like I was saying before, divine flow. That message earlier feels very heavy for the Cancers here, where you are being taught, you're being led to lean into this and to surrender to this. You have new things on the horizon, right? And I don't know how to pronounce this, but I don't want to butcher it. Echinacea, you all know it's a tea. It's a herb that can be very soothing for the throat, very soothing to drink. Okay, so also Cancers, you all maybe drinking a lot of hot tea, or you need to, putting yourself in more meditative states, more sedative states. Okay, healthy, right? But you have new things coming on the horizon here, okay, back here with this sun, and it's requiring more love, more patience. There's definitely for masculine here, okay, real quick, any men that are watching that are Cancers, I do feel like there is going to be like, and even for women, okay, even for my feminine, there's going to be this like a newness in the way that you see feminine energy, whether again that be a woman, you to yourself, like okay, you could be having a birthday that's coming up, or a recent one, or just gave birth, right? Okay, or just found out that you were pregnant. But I'm getting this like new womanhood, motherhood, maidenhood. And for my masculine, this could be the same for you as well, right? Your wife or your partner, becoming a mother, getting pregnant, or you becoming a father, or, you know, shifting in manhood, fatherhood, brotherhood. I don't know. I don't usually pick this up with temperance, but with this, the crown around her head and what's around her waist, it kind of gave me like she's going in for baptism. But it just gave me the energy of reconstruction. So, but again, back to what I was saying, but regardless, this baptism preparation, right? However you see it, metaphorically, literally, spiritually, emotionally, this baptism preparation, this healing preparation, this preparation is taking you to see love in a new way, but especially the feminine energy, the energy of caring for other people, the energy of giving, the energy of charity, the energy of healing deeply, right? It doesn't matter, just the energy of love is going to be really, I feel like, changed in your life in a very positive way, Cancers, okay? A lot of relationship energy, okay? A lot of relationship energy. Give me one card for the Pisces. Please, Spirit, let's close it out. What does the Pisces need to know at the end of this month, during this transition? What are they rediscovering or uncovering about themselves at this time? One card, please. Okay, so you got a few wanted to come out. That was the Tower. New foundations are necessary. New foundations are necessary, Pisces. Okay, 5 of Cups. Yeah, that's why. So that makes sense. Okay, you got the 5 of Cups coming out, Pisces, and as it's pretty clear, right, the 5 of Cups, this is not very positive energy. But the interesting thing about the 5 of Cups, he has 4 cups sitting upright and only 1 of them down. So it's not that things are not as bad as they seem, Pisces. Things are not as draining as they seem. Things are not as non-reciprocal as they seem. Things are not as a dead end as they seem. It's about where you are pouring your energy. Where are you pouring your cups? What are you paying attention to? What are you ready for? What are you still grieving? What have you not let go of? And to be honest, Pisces, what I just got is, this has a lot to do with yourself, how you're looking at yourself, the grief, the sadness, the deception. And when I say yourself, it's like, okay, he has 2 down. My apologies. 2 out of the 5. But again, not all of them. Okay, you got 3 cups full, 2 on the ground. You got more than you don't have, right? But when I say this is about yourself, it's like you're disappointed. This is giving heavy disappointment, but it's like disappointment in yourself or disappointment in the past. And you're going to have to let that go, because like I was saying with the Tower card, this goes hand in hand with this 5 of Cups. It's time for new foundations, but you're not going to be able to get to those new foundations if you don't release this pity, if you don't release this disappointment, if you don't release expecting disappointment. And I'm going to be honest, Pisces, I'm getting that this is kind of deeply like programmed. Like, you're gonna have to really sit with this and do the shadow work. That leads me, I'm gonna close out your reading by reading the message from this card, because I feel like everybody needs it, but I feel deeply connected now that has to do with this 5 of Cups for the Pisces, when it's about like the deep programming that you're thinking of yourself that keeps like projecting a certain reality. I hope that makes sense, okay? And if that's not for you, then don't take it. Boom. Look at that. I ain't making this up. I'm not making this up. What did I just talk about with the Cancers? Motherhood, love in a new way, caring in a new way, nurturing in a new way, right? Shining light on yourselves to see yourself in a new way. The Bear says the mother, reparenting, okay? When the energy of the Bear is present, it may be our actual relationship with our mom that is influencing the situation. Perhaps there is something big happening with her, or maybe there is tension between the two of you. Even if the situation is less overt than that, mom is ultimately at the root of the scenario. If you are estranged from your mother or you don't have the best relationship with her, it could be maternal issues coming to rear their ugly head. Okay, I'm not going to read all of this. I'm going to finish up here. So yeah, water signs. I couldn't pinpoint exactly what this deep transformational internal energy you all were doing, but okay, it definitely now I see could have been childhood, motherhood, fatherhood, right? Things like we were definitely talking about with the Cancers. Okay, so being gentle with yourself. You all are definitely, again, reparenting is a word that was in the book for this, but like we said in the beginning, you all are relearning, reprogramming, brainwashing, like reconditioning, reparenting yourselves. So you absolutely will come out on the other side being able to see yourself a new way, feel a new way, be a new way, and your world will absolutely reflect that as well. Okay, it says, as we become adults, many of us must confront the idea of reparenting. Ultimately, the people who raised us are also imperfect. Even if they did their best, their efforts could have fallen short of the mark sometimes. While it is true that our childhood conditioning and therefore issues follows us long into adulthood, at the end of it all, only we are responsible for our healing. Exactly. It's time for a new healing. The bear and its companion, the cub, asks us about how we can redefine these relationships with ourselves. Even if your emotional needs weren't met as a child, you can take action to show up for yourself now. So beautiful. Water signs, I want you to know that I'm proud of you, that you should be proud of yourself. Continue to give yourself grace as you are going through this rebirth, okay? Whether you are working through childhood issues, trauma, things from your past, things that you're going through now that you may feel lost, that you feel you are figuring out how to get through. Know that you are doing just that, and Spirit is confirming that you are getting through, you are overcoming. And be proud of yourself, okay? Clap for yourself. It's not always easy work, and when it's time to put on our pants and do that healing for ourselves, know that that is taking you to new heights, okay? When we go to new depths, it's for us. We can only go to new heights once we go to new depths, right, water signs? I love you all so much. Thank you for checking in with me, and until next time, peace.